Okay everyone, so welcome to day 2 of linear data structures of Mission Place from the CodeChef RIT chapter. So today we are going to discuss about the stack data structure. In the previous session we have discussed about the introduction of data structures and its various types. Then we saw what are the conditional loops and C++ language codes we are going to use. After that we went to the different types of data structures, we studied them. Then we started with array and we did two problems with arrays. So in today's session we will be starting our next data structure, which is again a linear data structure, which is stack. So what we will cover in this session is what is stack, then what are the operations on stack, implementation of stack using array, which is in C++ only, then use of standard library C++ for preparing our stack, applications of data structure using stack, and two problems based on stack data structure. So let's start with the session. So what is stack? Stack is nothing but just a pile of some data. So it is a linear data structure just like array and linked list, and it consists of abstract data type, which is it can be only a single data type just like array, like integer, character, boolean. So we can have abstract data type like that. It is also known as a recursion data type structure because the stack is the elements in the stack are placed one upon another. It follows LIFO order of data insertion and abstraction. LIFO stands for last in first out. So let's understand this operation of LIFO first. So whenever we have a stack, like for example we are having a stack of coins, so as we can see, first we will keep one coin, then above it we will place the other, above it the third one, then fourth, then fifth one. So the process of inserting coins on this stack is you are going to place the coin on the last coin which you have inserted. So the last coin is on the top, above this top you will be insert another coin. So hence the operation is last in first out, that is जो कोई भी लास्ट में आएगा वो पहले बाहर निकलेगा. So as you can see, another example is stack of plates. There it is a can of tennis balls and stack of books. So the last one to come, which is number 5, will be the first one to take out, because we cannot take out 1 directly from the stack क्योंकि 1 के ऊपर और 4 elements है. तो first we will take the plate number 5 outside, then only we can remove other plates. And also if you want to insert any new plate, we will have to insert it above plate number 5. So in this way the LIFO structure works for stack. Okay, next is, so here we are using again the example of pile of books. So unless the topmost book is removed, we can't have access to the book which is below the topmost book. So if you want to have this blue color book which is at the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7th position, you cannot take it out directly. First you have to remove the 6 books which are kept above it. So what you have to do, you have to remove the first book, then you will remove second book, then you will remove third book, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then finally you will have this blue book. So we can apply the same technique in our data structure, which is our programs. So if we apply the same technique for our programs, we will have a program something like the data which can be inserted from the top only, and it can be removed from the same position. So let's see the operations on this data structure. So firstly, if we have an empty stack and you want to insert something in it, it is called push operation. So push operation is basically just like insertion operation only, where we are inserting elements in our stack. So now we have inserted 1, which is we have pushed 1 into our stack. Then if we want to push 2, we are inserting 2 into our stack. Then we have pushed 3. Next is pop operation. Pop operation is similar to deletion operation, where we are deleting the 3, which is the topmost element of the stack. Let's understand this in properly. So insertion is known as push operation, where we are just pushing elements into the stack one by one. Deletion is known as pop operation, where we are going to remove the elements. To access the topmost element, we can use the top function, like stack.top. If you use this command, you will get the topmost element of the stack. Like here this is a stack, and if I give stack.top, so it will return me the topmost element, which is 3. It will determine the value of the topmost element. Next is size of stack. This function returns the size of the number of elements of the stack. So how many total elements in the stack are there, that number will be returned to us. To check if the stack is filled or empty, we can use the empty function. Like empty function will return a true value if the stack is empty. Otherwise, if the stack is full or stack is not empty, then we will get a false value. I hope you are all understanding. Let's go to, okay, so here we have a problem number 1, which is we are given a string containing the characters and we have to determine whether the input string is valid. So before doing this problem, let's see how we can implement stack using C++. So let's go to our editor now. I hope the screen is visible. Can someone acknowledge in the chat box? Okay, so let's start with the implementation. So here is my stack.cpp. Now I'll just create a new file. So for using the STL library, which is standard template library of C++, we have to give the command to include the stack. So stack is pre-built in this library, we are going to use it. Okay, so for creating a stack, we have to give the int main function first. Inside int main. Okay, so for initializing your stack, you have to give this command, which is stack, then what type of stack you want to build, and then the name of the stack. So for stack, I want to be as a type of int, and the name will be stack1, or we can give st1, just st. Okay, so we have initialized our stack. Now if you want to push an element into this stack, you can give this command, stack.push. Then inside this push, you just have to provide the value which you want to push into the stack. So here I can give the value as 1. Then let's say if you want to push another element, 2, and 3. So we have 3 elements pushed into our stack. Now what if we want to just display this stack? So for that we can use stack.empty function to check whether our stack is true or stack is empty, and by making use of it we can insert it in a while loop, and from that we can get the value of all the elements which are present in the stack. So let's create a while loop. While stack is not empty, we want to show the stack.top. Again we can give some space after this, and then we can pop one element, so that the one element which we are going to show, after that we can show the next element. So we can give a stack.pop. And here here I can give a cout statement as our stack is. Okay, so now let's test whether this is working on the online compiler. Okay, so I have written stack.push everywhere, but my name is st, so I have to enable the stack. Okay, rest all things are fine. Semicolon. Here again we have to use stack. Okay, so we have not given the function parenthesis here. So it is displaying our stack, which is we have inserted. Firstly we have inserted 1, so 1 is at the last, then we inserted 2, so then 2, then we have inserted 3, so 3 is the topmost element. Now if I want to see out the topmost element, so I can just write stack dot top, so it will return me the top element, and I want to display it here, so I'll get see out. So I'll run this again. Okay, something went wrong. Because we are going to pop those elements after doing this display function, that's why the stack was empty and it was not showing any element. So in this way you can display the elements of the stack and perform push and pop operation. Now if I want to stack.pop here only, and then I run this, so 1 will be inserted, then 2 will be inserted, 3 will be inserted, and from stack.pop 3 will get removed from the stack. So that's why it will show only 1 and 2. Now let's run and try this. Okay, so output is 1 and 2, so stack is only 1 and 2. In this way, using this STL library, we can perform push and pop operations on our stack. So this was just a basic example. Now I have created a case statement for this, so let's try to run this. So this code I have already written, we can try this. Just instead of using push and pop again and again, I have put it inside a switch case statement. So this push and pop display things are the same. I have created a function for void display, which is taking the input for stack. Inside it I have created the main function, which is going to initialize the stack as st. The name of the stack is st and type is int. Then again we have here push and pop operation, and last is exit if you want to exit the loop. Then firstly we can enter the choice, it will take the character. Then for case 1 is push function, so we will first take the value from the user, that what it want to insert in the stack, so input for insertion, then we will see in that value. Then st.push value, so the value will be pushed to our stack, and show stack will be implemented, so that this function is going to show display our stack. Then for pop, simply we have to pop the elements. Here also we can display the stack once again. So now let's try to run this. So here it is saying enter your choice. So first is push, I want to push 10, so it is showing stack is 10. Again I want to push something in the stack, I want to push 11. Now 11 is inserted. Again I want to push 12, so 12 is inserted. Now if I want to pop, so 12 will be popped. So for choice 2, so it is displaying 11 and 10. Again if I pop, again if I pop, then stack is empty. So in this way you can also try this program. This is a simple switch case program for push and pop function of stack. Okay, now let's come back to our problem statement. So in this session we are going to cover two problems. This is the first problem, that given a string S containing the characters, these are types of brackets which are inside character function, so semicolon, then square bracket and round bracket. We have to determine if the input string is valid. It means that open brackets must be closed bracket by the same type of brackets, and open brackets must be closed in the correct order. So correct order is firstly semicolon, then semicolon, no, this is curly bracket, then square bracket, and inside that rounded bracket. This is the order. And what it means by input string is valid is that the closing opening and the closing bracket should be same, like this. For example, if the opening bracket is rounded bracket, the closing bracket should also be rounded bracket only, then only the output will be true. Again here the opening and closing brackets are same, so the output is true. Here opening bracket is round bracket and closing is a curved bracket, square bracket, so that's why the output will be false. So we have to make this make a function for displaying this string. So this is actually a little problem. Here is the link for it, valid parenthesis. I will share the link also. Okay, so I already run this program, so that's why it's displaying this. So let's understand how we are going to make this function. So if you are seeing this screen, let me remove this. Yeah, here it is, and let's reset this. So they are giving us an input string which is string S. So for this string S there will be such type of input which is S equal to this, and we have to check the parenthesis and provide the output for true and false value. So let's build this function first. So firstly, for implementing this, they are giving us a string, so we have to run a loop for the length of the string so that we can come to know that when we have to stop checking for the parenthesis. So let's create a for loop first. So for int I equal to 0, I less than s dot length, I plus plus. So for this our loop will run. Then let's make a stack of characters, because these are character values, so we are going to use stack only here. So stack of character, let's name this stack as what I have named it here, stack only. Okay, so and finally what we have to return is, we have to return whether true or false. So for true or false, as I already told you, that the empty function returns a boolean value, which is true for the stack is empty and false when the stack is not empty. So by using that stack dot empty, we can get the output as true or false. So finally, when our function will be implemented, we can run this return, because this is a bool is valid is a function, so we have to return something, return a boolean value. So I am returning stack dot empty value, which is a boolean type. So now if I run it without the for loop, let's see what I get. So the output is true because we are just returning stack dot empty, so stack is already empty and the input was also this type, so it is giving true. in the test case, if you give something like this and run the code, you will get false, because that is not the correct answer they have expected. Expected answer was false and our answer is true. So we have to write a proper function. Okay, so firstly we have to check what are the input values. So I will write a if statement, then string for string of I, like we are running the for loop for a variable I. So if string of I is equal to this opening bracket, just opening bracket, or string of I is opening bracket of square type, or string of I is an opening bracket of curly type. So if this thing happen, what we have to do, we have to just simply push this into our stack, because ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट से हमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो जब भी आएगा ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट आएगा तभी हमें उसको स्टैक में पुश करते जाना है. सो आई सिंपली राइट इट stack dot push. What we have to push? This s of I value. Okay, now else part. If it is not an opening bracket and if it is a closing bracket, so what we can do, in else also we can give the statement as if, again if statement. So if the stack is empty, then we have to return it as false. Okay, because empty होगी तो कुछ फायदा नहीं. Then again if, no, not if we have already written, we can write or. So you can use this or function, which is boolean or, logical or, inside if and else statements to give different types of conditions. So this is our first condition, then or this second condition, or this third condition. Here also we are going to use the same thing. So what we have to check here is if stack dot top, which is the topmost value of the stack which we have just pushed, if this is equal to s of I, or the value which we have pushed is a closing bracket, so then we have to check something. So if this is equal to s of I, and one more thing, s of I is not closing bracket. Of this type. So this becomes our first statement. Let me check it again. Okay, it is saying stack of top equal to, okay, just I will copy this. So what we are actually going to check, if stack dot top is equal to opening bracket, like if we have inserted an opening bracket into a stack, so this will be stored. If it is opening bracket and s of I, which is the next value in the string, if it is a closing bracket of same type, so then what we have to do, then we cannot return false, then we have to return true. Okay, so next is or stack dot top is equal to this type of opening bracket and closing bracket is not equal to this. Okay, so not equal to, तो ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट ये है और क्लोजिंग ब्रैकेट ये नहीं है, तो फॉल्स रिटर्न करना है. सेम फॉर इफ ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट इज करली एंड क्लोजिंग ब्रैकेट इज नॉट करली, देन वी हैव टू रिटर्न फॉल्स. एल्स इफ ओपनिंग ब्रैकेट इज स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट and the next closing bracket is not square bracket, then again we have to return false only. So in this way this if statement will work, so we have to return false. Next, what after ending this if this is same, so what we can do, we have to just pop out that element, stack dot pop. So ये दोनों अगर सेम हो जाएंगे तो ये पॉप हो जाएगी, दोनों भी लिस्ट से पॉप हो जाएंगे स्टैक से. Once they are popped out of the stack, then our stack will become empty, and once the stack is empty, we will return a true value, so the answer will be true. If these are not same, then the answer will not get popped and it will return false, so our output will be false. Now let's check whether this is working. Okay, so this works now. Let's check for another test case. So this should return true value. I am going to run it. Okay, so answer is true. It means that our code is properly working. Let's check one more statement. If the stack is empty, nothing is here, so for that we should return false. Oh, it is saying the size got less than 1. So they actually want an input, that's why it was giving that error. Consist of only parentheses, so nothing other than parentheses should be included. So if it is just an open, so answer is false because it doesn't have a close rounded bracket. Now we can submit this. Success. Runtime is 0 and it is the fastest C++ solution. Okay, so in this way we can solve this problem. I have shared the link in the chat box. You can try it on your own too. So let's come back to PPT. It's now 5:37. I won't take much time because as we have told, we are going to keep the session short only. So I hope all of you have understood the first problem, which was checking parentheses. Now let's come to second problem. I will cover this in a little time. It will just hardly take 10 minutes. So second problem says that design a stack that supports push, pop, top and retrieving the minimum element in constant time. So what they want is, they want a function which will perform push, pop operations. Like they will give an input for such operations, push and pop, and they want us to return the minimum element in the constant time. So they have one more function which is return minimum, which should return the minimum number in the stack. So how we can check this? Which is the best method to check this? So I have given the method here. We are going to make two stack into this. So first will be our main stack, next will be our auxiliary stack. So by this what we can do, when the main stack will if the user gives the push 6, so 6 is inserted in the main stack and also in the auxiliary stack, then we can compare these two and check which is the minimum element. So 6 is only minimum, so it is returning 6. Then if 7 is inserted, which is 7 is pushed into stack, it is giving us the main stack at 6, 7. So in the main stack we have 6 and 7. In the auxiliary stack we are not going to push 7. We are going to compare this auxiliary stack with this main stack and check which is the minimum element. So again 6 is minimum, so we are returning 6. Again we have to push 8, so 8 is inserted. Again we are not going to insert that 7 here because it was not the minimum element was 6. So we will compare 6 with this 3. Then again minimum is 6. When 5 is inserted, 5 will be compared. Now 5 is less than 6, so we will add 5 here in the auxiliary stack, and also in the minimum number we will show 5. Again we have to push 3, so 3 will be inserted. Now 3 is lesser again, so we will add 3 in this auxiliary stack, and in the minimum number we will give 3. So now we have to pop, as user given the operation as pop, so 3 is popped out. So 3 we will remove 3 from here and also from the auxiliary stack. Again we have to push 10, so 10 is pushed. 10 is the largest here, so we don't have anything to do with it. Again we have to pop that 10 out, so 10 is popped out. So finally again they are going to pop and 5 is removed. So जब 6, 7, 8 बचेंगे तो auxiliary stack में भी 6 ही बचेगा क्योंकि 5 को pop कर दिया. So finally the minimum element is 6 only. So in this way we are going to get our minimum element from the stack. So firstly we are going to make two stack. first stack we will push all the elements which the user are giving, or we will pop the elements which the user don't want. These operations are performed by the user, like they will give us these statements, what we have to push and what we have to pop. Here what we have to do is just to check the minimum number and store that number in the auxiliary stack. The finally which one minimum number will be stored, it will be returned as the minimum element in constant time. So this is the problem. So we have discussed the solution. Now let's check the problem. Just copy this again and share the link. Okay, so I have shared the link with you, you can check it here. Alright, first let's read the problem out once again. Design a stack that supports push, pop, top and retrieving the minimum element in constant time. So we have to implement the minimum stack class. They have given this class to us. So this is my problem actually, which I have created it here, and again inside this I will just discuss this code. I am not going to write it once again because it will take much more time. So let's check the example first. So this is their input. So the in input they are going to give this type of parenthesis, which is firstly no element, then -2, then 0, then -3, then again empty elements. So what they want for this, they want to perform minimum stack. Then for -2 they want to perform push function. For 0 they want to perform push. For 3 they want to perform -3 they want to perform push. For this thing they want to perform get minimum. So these functions they want to perform for this given elements, and the output will be minimum stack. So nothing is minimum, so null. Again push -2, so -2 it is again null. Then minimum stack dot push 0, so 0 will be again null because nothing is there. Minimum stack dot get min, so if you want to get the minimum, so only -3 was the minimum, so it will return -3. Then minimum stack dot top, here they have performed pop, so -3 is also removed and only 0 is left, so they will return 0. So in this way we have to return some elements for the given value of input. Let's check the function now. So on the basis of this I can explain you this function. Okay, so as I said, firstly we are going to make a stack for S, which is the main stack, and for auxiliary elements, which are the minimum, to store the minimum number, we are creating a stack which is of the type int only as auxiliary stack. So this is the same class which they have used inside public. Firstly we have to push the value which they are going to give us. So इधर actually जो कोई भी उनके operations है, as they said, minimum stack, push, pop, top and get min, ये वाले operations है, तो इनके लिए हमने functions बना के रखे इसमें. So let's start with this thing from the bottom. So int get min, it is going to return the auxiliary list का top element, which is the minimum element because auxiliary के stack में minimum number stored है. Then for is empty, we have to return simply s dot empty. ये boolean value return करेगा, इसीलिए boolean है. Int size, we have to return size, so return s dot size. So whenever these functions will be called, as I will reset the code here, so you will be able to read it. So wherever these functions are called, we are going to return these values. Okay, so let's just copy and paste this thing. Top size is empty, get min. So it is going to return the value which we want to show for the top, for the size, for the empty, and for getting the minimum. Now as I said, inside the minimum stack we have to make two stacks of int type s, and again a stack of int type as auxiliary stack. Okay, so let's see the push function first. So for push function we have to push the value to the main stack. तो पहले जो कोई भी आएगा वो main stack में push हो जाएगा. Let's see here. I hope this thing will be visible now. So we have to push 6. So 6 will be pushed to main stack. Then 6 is going to push to the auxiliary stack. After that, if auxiliary stack is empty, we have to push that value here also. Else, if auxiliary dot top is greater than that value, like if the auxiliary stack is having an element like so we have to enter 5 here. So when जब 5 आ गया लिस्ट में तो 5 के साथ में इधर 6 भी था, तो अगर 6 5 से बड़ा है तो we have to keep that 6 here only. We don't have to remove that 6. So for that we just have to push the value inside the auxiliary stack. So this is the push function. Then for pop function, if the top is equal to s dot top, like the top value is equal to the main stack का value, we have to pop it out, क्योंकि main stack में जो भी है वो finally pop ही करना है. If top is equal to auxiliary dot top, so now top क्या है, int value है. अगर top की value equal होती है auxiliary के top value से, like we had 6 in our auxiliary top, so we have to pop auxiliary dot we have to pop the value from the auxiliary stack. So and finally we have to return the top value. So top value will become s dot top, so that value will be returned here. In this way the pop will return the element which was removed. Now for the main inside the main function we can see, firstly we had push 6, then we push 7, then we push 8. So in the same way 6, 7, 8 we were going to display it as minimum number 6 ही रहेगा. फिर जब 5 आएगा तो 5 पुश हो रहा है and minimum number it is showing as 5. So वो comparison इधर हो रहा है. If auxiliary dot top is greater than equal to value which we are going to insert, then we have to push that value inside our auxiliary function, and in the end the minimum number will get displayed, which will be popped up. So this was the function. Now let's run this. So I have given the names as s1 and s2 for the stack, and if s1 was empty we have to push the element into the second stack, which is auxiliary stack. If the element is less than or equal to, or we can say greater than or equal to, then we have to push that element into the second stack, and we have to push that element again in the first stack also. Next is pop. For pop, as I said, if both of these are going to be equal, that is the top value and the top value of auxiliary, then we are going to pop it out. Then for top, as I said, we are going to return the top, and for get min we just have to return the minimum of the top, and which is the value which we are going to pop out, we are going to return it here. So s2 dot top. So if I run this code, okay, so this was the test case, that is we have to perform these operations on these given numbers, and the output is true. Let's submit it. Okay, so success. So this was the answer for this problem. If you have any doubts regarding this problem, you can put it in the chat box, or again I am going to share the code and solution for this question, also the PDF of this PPT which I have discussed on the WhatsApp groups, so that if you have any problems further you can contact us from the group only. Alright, so thank you everyone for this session. We are going to end it now. So this was the second session. In next session we will see other problems based on stack on postfix and infix operations which we will be performing using stack. So that will be our day 3, which will be on next Monday maybe, and till then, okay, then goodbye. Thank you.